And now for some very special acknowledgments. I'm very privileged to introduce to you MOLA's first president. Jim Berdahl is here with us today.
Thank you. I'm going to get my notes. I promised Karen that I want to speak for a minute and a half, so that's what I'll do, I hope. I am really honored to be here. I have fallen into the category of honorary member since I abandoned the library for the questionable offices of management a number of years ago, and I still think back fondly to those days, and being here with you today is a real trip, and I can't tell you, how pleased I am. I want to, since they're not here today, to acknowledge the other two, my other two colleagues who joined me in sort of planting this seed 25 years ago, Clint Newig and Victor Alpert. Clint is not here, but you've heard about him. Victor is in Boston, and I understand will turn 89, Bob, 2 weeks. And so we send them both our warmest wishes. Also, I would be remiss to not not mention Nancy Bradford, who was present at the birth and who did much of the work and a lot of the scribing, and without Nancy, we wouldn't have the archival records and the documents that we do. Since Karen is having a bunch of people stand up, I wanted to do this one little thing. There are here, I think, 6 of us who were, in fact, in that first group that you saw, and I'd like to have those people stand just so you can see who is some of the people that are here today who were present at the birth. So if Larry and Paul and Bob and John would just stand and be acknowledged. Yeah. And then I just want to say, in 1983, when we planted this seed with a 2.5-hour meeting, followed, of course, by the great dinner, but the first meeting was 2.5 hours, one Friday afternoon. And to see that morph into what I've seen yesterday and today, a 4-day meeting with well over 100 librarians, and sessions like the one we had at 1 o'clock tonight or 1 o'clock this afternoon with the major international musicologists and editors. It's really, really an amazing transformation, and I want to acknowledge all of you who have made that possible. So please give yourselves a hand too. So, in closing, let me just say that the seed we planted in 1983 has grown through all of your efforts, not into a flower or a plant or not even into a garden. It's grown into an arboretum. Thank you.
I'm so glad to finally meet you. Heard about you for a long time.
Likewise.
Oh. Okay, and now Peter, our conference host, and Marcia Farabee are going to do some further acknowledgments.
Peter and I have been asked to speak a little bit about what might be called the Clint and Nancy show. I thought about starting off by saying, "Hi, Mom," to Clint, And so when he sees this, hi, Mom. I have to say that Vernon Kirkpatrick, who was one of the founding members and my predecessor at the National Symphony, often spoke glowingly of Clint. And I heard so much about Clint and some wonderful Clint stories from the conferences that at the first conference I went to, which was in Atlanta, I was quite nervous because here was this giant in the orchestra library world, and here I was, this little neophyte, and what in the world? I'd probably put my foot in my mouth just saying hello to him. Well, I must say that when I got there, not only was Clint his wonderful, charming, anecdote-filled self, but he deferred all of the praise to Nancy and said that without Nancy, really none of this would have happened. And I really think that Nancy is truly our unsung heroine, I should say, in MOLA. She worked, for the most part, completely behind the scenes. If you were to compliment her on something, she would shy away from it. She's a wonderful woman. We share a lot in common in our backgrounds that I didn't know until many years after I had met her. She does have the opportunity to come to Washington occasionally when Philly's doing a run out. And we always get to share non-library stories, which in of itself is sometimes very refreshing. We share grandchildren's stories, of course, and we share head librarian stories, and we share errata stories, and most of all, conductor stories. But Nancy is truly our unsung heroine, and if you ever have a chance to give her a call, drop her a line, even email her while she's still in the Philly Library before she gets out that door. I hope you will send her a note of appreciation. So Nancy, thank you very much.
Wave to the camera, everyone.